How to track live Forex movement of IQD and VND on public platforms. Are you ready? Iraqi Dinar, with the intro for your channel, RV News. Written in paragraph form, without headings. Welcome back to RV News, the #1 place for real-time updates, deep dive analysis, and breaking developments on the Iraqi Dinar, Vietnamese Dong, and all things related to the global currency reset. If you're an IQD or VND holder, you're in exactly the right place, because today's video is going to give you a complete, step-by-step breakdown of how you can track live Forex movements of the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong using public platforms, so you don't have to rely solely on rumors, chat rooms, or private intel groups. We're going to go deep into the tools, techniques, and platforms you can use, completely free or with minimal cost, to monitor every tick, every change, and every possible revaluation signal in real time. By the end of this, you'll be able to pull up your laptop, phone, or tablet and actually see for yourself what's going on with these currencies without having to wait for second-hand updates. Now, a lot of people in the RV community have been following these currencies for years. We've heard countless reports, whispers, and speculations about it's about to go. Rates have been updated internally, or banks are preparing for a revaluation. But the truth is, if you don't have a way to confirm real-time market movements for yourself, you're always going to be in a position where you're relying on someone else's word. And while trusted intel can be valuable, nothing beats the confidence of actually seeing it for yourself, in black and white, on a verified financial platform. The reality is, there are ways to monitor the IQD and VND in real time, even though, as many of you know, the Iraqi dinar doesn't have the same global liquidity as currencies like the euro, yen, or British pound. It's not traded in the same massive volumes on retail Forex platforms, which is why some people think it's invisible to the public. But that's not the full story. One of the first platforms I want to talk about is XE.com, probably the most well-known and user-friendly currency conversion website in the world. Many of you may have used XE to check the official rate of the IQD or VND, but did you know that XE actually updates its rates every 60 seconds based on midnight rates pulled from multiple data sources? While this won't necessarily show you the private or contract rates being discussed in RV circles, it will give you the public-facing, real-time market rate that's available globally. For the IQD, will typically show the CBI official rate, or the closest available market rate. And for the VND, you'll see rates that can move slightly based on Vietnam's managed currency policy. To track changes effectively, you should refresh the page periodically and also set up XE's rate alerts, so that if either currency moves, even by a fraction, you'll get an instant notification on your phone or email. This is the kind of tool that's perfect for detecting sudden, unexpected shifts. Now, moving beyond XE, another powerhouse platform is investing.com. This site is a goldmine for Forex watchers. Once you create a free account, you can add IQD, USD, and VND, USD to your watch. Yes, the IQD USD live pair might sometimes show limited historical chart data, but you can still get valuable context on day-to-day price stability and notice if there's any sudden divergence from the usual pegged rates. Investing.com also offers candlestick charts, which can be set to different time frames, from 1 minute to 1 month, so you can catch quick spikes or gradual trends. And here's the kicker, they also offer an economic calendar. This is huge, because any central bank meetings, announcements, or government policy changes related to Iraq or Vietnam can cause subtle movements that foreshadow bigger shifts. By combining the live chart data with the economic calendar, you get both the what and the why of any market movement. If you're a bit more advanced and want to get into the same type of live data professional traders use, you'll want to check out platforms like TradingView. TradingView isn't just for stock traders, it's also a powerhouse for Forex analysis. The VND is easier to find because it's more actively traded internationally. But for IQD, you'll need to search for specific currency pairs provided by certain data feeds, often pegged to USD. Even if you don't find minute-by-minute IQD, USD charts everywhere, TradingView allows you to track over-the-counter and black market indicators in certain regions, which can sometimes move before official rates are adjusted. You can set up custom alerts so that the second a price moves beyond the threshold you specify. For example, if the IQD goes from 1,310 per USD to anything outside that band, you'll get a notification. This is especially useful during times of heightened speculation. Another valuable resource is OANDA.com, which is not just a Forex broker but also a real-time rate data provider. OANDA updates its currency conversion rates every few seconds and even offers historical exchange rate tools so you can compare today's rates with those from years ago. This historical context can be very telling, especially for the VND, which has been gradually appreciating against the USD in small increments over the past decade. If you notice the VND rate tightening faster than usual, it could be a sign of central bank adjustments. OANDA's API is also a hidden gem for tech-savvy users. You can connect it to spreadsheets or apps and have live rates streaming automatically, which is great if you want to create your own personalized rate dashboard. One question I get all the time is, why don't I see the IQD moving like other currencies? Is it hidden? The short answer is yes and no. The Iraqi Dinar is considered a pegged currency and not heavily traded in the open market, which means its public rate stays relatively flat unless the Central Bank of Iraq decides to change it. That said, there are times when the street rate, the rate people actually exchange at within Iraq, diverges from the official rate. Those changes sometimes leak into global currency data feeds before the official public announcement. By watching multiple sources, you can sometimes spot these anomalies in real time. For example, if XE and investing.com are suddenly showing slightly different rates, that could mean an update is in process. For the Vietnamese Dong, the situation is a little different. While Vietnam also maintains a managed exchange rate, it's more actively traded than the IQD. This means you'll see small daily fluctuations based on global market forces, central bank interventions, and economic news. If you're tracking the VND closely, you should definitely watch for sharp intraday moves. These are rare but can happen if Vietnam makes a sudden policy shift or if there's an external shock like oil price spikes or major trade announcements. For this, using a platform like Forex Factory in combination with TradingView can be incredibly powerful. Forex Factory will give you news events in real time, while TradingView will show the instant impact on the currency pair. Now, I want to share a pro tip. Don't rely on just one platform. The smartest way to track IQD and VND is to build a small rate watch dashboard using 3 to 5 different sources. For example, you might have XE, investing.com, and OANDA open in different tabs for raw rate data, and then TradingView for charting and alerts, and Forex Factory for news. By doing this, you cover all your bases, live numbers, visual charts, and the news catalysts that could trigger movements. This is exactly how professional currency watchers operate. And the great news, you can do all of this with free accounts on each platform. If you want to take it even further, there are mobile apps that make tracking IQD and VND extremely convenient. Z has an excellent mobile app, as does investing.com, which allows you to set up widgets on your phone's home screen, so you can literally glance at the rates without even opening the app. TradingView's mobile app is also fantastic, and you can customize it to send you push notifications the moment a currency hits a specific target. Imagine being at work or out running errands and getting an alert that the VND just moved significantly. You could then open your full dashboard and investigate instantly. It's also important to understand the limitations of public rate tracking. Public platforms will show you the official or mid-market rates, which may not reflect private or contract rates that are sometimes discussed in the RV community. Just because you don't see a massive jump on XE doesn't mean nothing is happening behind the scenes. However, Sudden movements in public rates, even if small, can sometimes be a telltale sign that something bigger is in motion. This is why veteran IQD and VND watchers pay close attention to even minor fluctuations. Another factor to consider is the timing of rate changes. Most central banks make adjustments outside of normal market hours to minimize volatility. For Iraq, that could mean announcements in the early hours U.S. time. For Vietnam, adjustments often happen in their local morning hours, which could be late evening or early morning for those of us in North America. By understanding these time zones and monitoring during those key windows, you greatly increase your chances of catching changes as they happen rather than hearing about them later. We also can't ignore the importance of tracking the US dollar index DXY alongside IQD and VND, since both currencies are pegged or managed relative to the dollar. Major shifts in the USD's strength can influence the decision-making of the Central Bank of Iraq or the State Bank of Vietnam. If the dollar